Hello everyone, myself Bhumi Patel, Assistant Professor at LG Institute of Engineering and Technology in Department of Electronics and Communication. Today we are going to discuss about the basics of instrumentation in process instrumentation unit number 1. In last session we have studied about the different process instrumentation tag number and the symbol of the process instrumentation. So first of all, the tag number and the name. First one is FC. Now what is the full form of FC? FC means flow control and the function of FC is flow measurement and the control. LC, L means the level controller and the function of the LC is the control the level of the system. FE, E means the element of the system. So full form of FE is flow element and it is used to for the flow sensor. If it is given to LE, so it is denoted by LE and the full form of LE is level element and it is a level sensor. Now what is the full form of LG? LG means level gauge and it is used to measure the level of the system. If both functions are similarly measured, it is denoted with FIC. FIC means flow indicator and controller and the function of FIC is indicating flow as well as controlling the flow. Now the tag name is given like this, TIC. The full form of TIC is temperature indicator and controller and the function of TIC is indicating temperature as well as controlling the temperature. So this is some tag number and name of the system. It is used in the process and instrumentation. Now next one is how tag number is denoted in the process instrumentation diagram. So now you can see in this diagram FIC. What is the F? First letter indicate variable being measurement. Here the flow is measurement, so F is given. If temperature is measure variable, here T is given. Now I indicate what it does and C indicate the instrumentation. So FIC means flow indicates and the controlling the flow. Now here one number is given, number is 55. It is the control loop tag number. In every process and instrumentation diagram tag number is given, so 55 indicate the control loop tag number. Now here two circle is given, one circle with dotted line and another is a without dotted line. So with dotted line circle is used in the remote location behind the control panel and without dotted line circle is used to field mounted, means it is used to above the control panel. So using this tag number and name we can identify which type of instrument is used, which type of sensor is used and what is function is denoted as. So this is the simple example of tag number and name of the system. Now next one is the cascade loop. Now what is the cascade loop? So in a single loop control, the controller set point is set by an operator and its output drives a final control element. In cascade system arrangement, there are two or more than two controllers in same system of which one controller's output drives the set point of the another controller. Now why the cascade loop is used? So sometimes two controllers can do a better job of keeping a one process variable whenever you want to keep. So in this case cascade loop is used when multiple sensors are available for measuring the condition in control process. A cascade control system can often perform a better and traditional single measurement controller. So cascade control loop output is better than the single loop in some cases. So Next one is the basic block diagram of the cascade loop. You can see in this diagram, this is the set point and input of the system. This is our primary controller and this is our secondary controller. Primary controller work as a master and secondary controller work as a slave of the system. Now the output of the secondary control is given to the actuator and then the secondary process. So this is the inner loop of the system and the variable of the inner loop system is called the secondary process variable. Now the output of the inner loop is given to the primary process variable and this is the feedback loop of the system and it is called the primary process variable. So this is the outer loop of the cascade loop and whatever output is taken, it is the final control element of the cascade loop. So the main advantages of the cascade loop is, first one is we have used the multiple control loop in the same system, and the next one is the inner loop is faster than the outer loop. So if in the same closed loop system, if any disturbance and noise will be given, then we can put the secondary loop in the same system and we can eliminate the noise and disturbance of the system. So this is the advantages of cascade loop. Now the example of the cascade loop. You can see in this example, one tag is given, input is given to the tank, and here the cascade control loop system is applicable. Here you can see that LT is given. LT means the level transmitter. The whatever level transmit, it is given to the LC. Now the full form of LC is the level controller, and one input of the LC controller is the set point, and the second input of the level controller is the level transmitter. Now FT means the flow transmitter and FC means the flow controller. Here only tag name is given, tag number is not given, so we can return like this. LT01 means 01 is our tag number of the loop system. So FT01, FC01 and LC01. So here you can see that first of all the flow of the system is controller. So this is the inner loop of the system and it is work as the slave of the system. Now whatever output is taken, this slave system LT and LC, this level transmitter and level controller work as a master loop of the system, and the input of the master loop is the set point, and that set point and the input of the master, we can get the proper output of the final control element. So here two controller is used. First one is the flow and the second one is the level. So it is work as the cascade loop system. Okay, now next example is the cascade loop. The example is draw P and I diagram for temperature pressure cascade loop in steam heater. So a same example is given in the GTU exam. So first of all we can draw the P and I diagram for the steam heater system. So first of all we can draw the heater of the system. Now we have measured two variables. First one is the temperature and the second one is the pressure. So first one we can put here the temperature transmitter TT. So input of the heater is given to the temperature transmitter and is connected like this. Okay, now whatever signal is transmitted, it is the pneumatic signal. So the symbol of the pneumatic signal is like that, and here we can put the temperature indicator controller. Whatever temperature is here, it is control and indicate by this instrument. Now the second loop is the pressure loop. So for the pressure loop we have put here pressure transmitter. The short form of the pressure transmitter is PT, and here we have put pressure indicator controller. So whatever signal is transmitted to the pressure, it is the pneumatic signal, and the symbol of the pneumatic signal is like this. It is controlled by the PIC, and it is connected to the secondary loop, and the secondary loop input is the temperature, and here one valve is connected to controlling this process. So this is the symbol of the valve, and this connection is connected to the pressure transmitter as well as the steam heater of the system. So this is the P and I process and instrumentation diagram of the temperature pressure cascade loop. Here now what is the master loop and what is the slave loop? So pressure transmitter and a pressure controller, it is work as a slave loop, and the temperature transmitter, temperature controller, it is work as the master loop, and the input of the master loop, it is our primary or control variable, and the input of the slave is work as a secondary controller. So this is the full P and I diagram for the steam heater. Now next one is the when should the cascade control be used. So a process with relative slow dynamics, that time we can use a cascade control loop. Next one is the relatively fast process has to be manipulated to the control the slow process, that time we can also use a cascade loop. Now have any disadvantages of cascade loop? Yes, there are so many disadvantages of cascade loop. First one is it requires an additional measurement, usually in flow rate for work. Next one is there is an additional controller that has to be tuned, because in the cascade loop we can use more than one controller, so every time we have tuned the secondary controller. The third disadvantage is the control strategy is more complex compared to the single loop for engineers and operator, because we have used here multiple controller, and the tuning of multiple controller is not easy for engineers and operator. Now next one is when should cascade control is not to be used. So cascade control is beneficially only if the dynamic of the inner loop are faster compared to those of the outer loop. Now how should cascade control be tuned? So a cascade arrangement should be tuned starting with the innermost loop. Once the innermost loop is tuned, it is placed in the cascade control or external set point mode, and then the loop driven its set point is tuned. So this is the tuning method of the cascade loop. We have so many tuning methods for tune the cascade control loop. We have studied in the next session. Next one is advantages of the cascade control loop. First one is even if the process shows the non-linearity in its characteristic, the process can be stabilized using cascade loop. If we have used a single closed loop in this system and the output of the closed loop system is non-linear, using the cascade control loop we can stabilize this system. Next one is we can eliminate the effect of disturbance, because here more than one loop is controlling, so we can eliminate or reduce the noise of the system. Cascade control is also useful in process with relatively slow process dynamic. So this is some advantages of the cascade loop. Thank you everyone. If anyone have doubt, then contact me in this email ID.